Hi there everybody and welcome back, and this is another Skilz4u tutorial, and today we're going to be teaching you how to do collision detection between two rectangles in the HTML JavaScript canvas so you can use for your own games. I hope you enjoyed the video, but please subscribe to the channel as this really helps us out. Thank you. Why hello everybody and welcome back to another Skilz4umedia tutorial, and this tutorial is going to be all about collision detection for rectangles. Now first of all, there's lots of tutorials online. It's always good to check out other people who have done some great tutorials. A couple of mentions would be Chris Deloren, Frank's Laboratory, there's also Poth Programming and many other people, since it's always good to learn lots of different ways. Because sometimes there is multiple different ways to do different things to solve the same problem within programming. So first of all, for this tutorial, just please make sure that you have carried out and completed the tutorial all about setting up a basic structure or a template or a basic HTML canvas game template, which will be on the link down below. And please make sure that you also subscribe to the channel. You should have 3 files set up for this presentation, or as part of that template. We should have a CSS file, we should have an HTML file, and also a JavaScript file. So first of all, I'm just going to quickly run through the HTML, very basic page there. I've got a div ID in the middle there called game area, and within that I've got a canvas ID called my canvas, which has a width of 1280 and 640, which is that HTML file has been connected to the CSS sheet, and also called game style CSS, and also a master file JS. So make sure you have saved them on your computer. And again, can't stress more, please do the setting up an HTML JavaScript basic game template tutorial down below. Please subscribe. Okay, so in the CSS sheet, again, very basic. I've got a game area, 1280, and then you've got it 640 wide. And then I've got which has been centralized, and I've got the canvas inside that as well. Okay, so JavaScript file, I'm just going to quickly go through where we left off from the setting up the template. So I've got at the top here, I've got my variables. I've set a variable for mouse as well. It grabs the canvas, grabs the position of the mouse within the canvas, and then we've got our game loop here, and then we've got the game loop here. So it clears canvas, draws canvas, updates canvas, then window request animation frame, and that's just going round in a nice little loop. And then down the bottom here in the update and draw game, I've actually included some functions called draw text, and that function is down the bottom here, so I can use it over and over again. I've got a function draw text. It takes 3 arguments: the text, X and Y. It's got a font of 20 pixels, which I'm going to take that down to about 16 because it looks a little bit big on the screen. It's got a style. I've styled it as white. And then I've got down the bottom here CGX fills to fill the text, which comes out hopefully like this. So if I make sure the browser of choice I'm using today is Chrome, and the text editor of choice that I'm using, and there's lots of different ones out there, is called Sublime. Okay, so you can use your own text editor's choice. You can even use your notepad as well. So let's first of all kick off. So at the moment we've got a blank screen, and we need to add a player object, and we also need to add just an object to collide into. So what I've done on the screen is a graphical representation of what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is, if this part of the square or the object hits this part of the object square, or down the bottom here, Y plus the player's height hits the top of that object, it's going to be true. Okay, it's going to cause a collision. Okay, I'll put the code down the bottom here as well, just in case you want to copy it down, put it into your notepad, but we will be going through it. So first of all, we've got to create the squares and put them on the screen. So let's do that first of all. So I'm going to go back to JavaScript. I'm going to create a class. So first of all, I'm going to type class. I'm going to call it rectangle object. You can call it wherever you want, by the way. Actually, yeah, rect object, curly braces. Okay, so this is going to be like a blueprint. So we're going to first of all start with a constructor. Okay. I'm going to pass it some arguments: x, y, width, height, and also color. Right, okay, so I've done that. Now I've got to describe that. So we've got this x equals x. This dot y equals y. This dot width equals width. This dot height equals height. This dot color equals color. I'm going to add just a couple of ones on here because again you could save this as a you could save this as a template, this speed, in case we want to change this game into something else. So you can put on here this lives equals 3, this score equals 0 because you start from nothing. Okay. Just going to put on the bottom there. Da da da. Always like to write notes. End of constructor. Okay, then I'm going to have a draw function. Draw function. Okay, so I'm going to pass it these arguments in here. So if you're going to go from here, this actually ctx dot. Let's put save. ctx dot fill style equals this color. This color. ctx fill rect. Okay, so when we're creating a rectangle, we need the xy coordinates, width and height. Okay, so when we need 4 values in here. So this is going to be your x from the top there, from the constructor, this y, this width, not canvas width. Don't you just love predictive text these days? Okay, by this height. Colon on the end there, ctx.restore. Okay, so that's the end of draw function. I'm just going to write there. End of draw. Now, I could put in here, if we're creating a game where we've got movement, I could put in there this update. We're going to put that in there anyway because you can use that. You could use that as a template. End of update. End of object. Right, let's see if get those. Let's get a square on the screen. Let's do that. Are you excited? Good stuff. Okay, so from here, they're going to set up a variable. So I'm going to go new. I don't want another. I want a player object equals. So it's going to be new, and I'm going to take that because I don't want to type it out. Player object, and now I need to pass it these okay, so I'm going to put some parameters in here. So this x, I'm going to place it 100 from the top, 100 from this left hand side, 100 from the top. I'm going to give it a width of, let's give it a width of 100 by 100, and what color should we give it? Okay, let's just have a look at this. Yellow. I'm going to go for yellow. So it looks like my graphic. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so from there, I'm just going to copy that because I need an object. I need an object for it to glide into. So this is going to be, we're just going to call that object, taking that template. This time I'm going to place this 400 from, actually we can do it from there, canvas width, divide by 2, let's place it in the middle, take away 50, take away 50, take away 50, yeah, that would do, looking good. Canvas height, divide by 2, take away 50, and we're going to leave that as 100 by 100. And then we're going to say that's going to be red. Okay, so from here, obviously you can't see, look, there's nothing there. How do we get that on the screen? Right, so what we're going to do, we need to place the player and the object in the draw function in our game. Okay, so if you remember, we created this draw function up here. Actually, I'm just going to put a note so it's nice and clear. Draw function, so I can see it. Okay, I'm just going to do the same there. Update function. Right, okay, so I want to place that in here. So what I want to do is grab that function within here. It's within the rectangle object. So how do I do that? Right, okay, so I'm going to copy the player. Excited. Okay, so from there we're going to go into the draw function part of the game, and then I'm just going to type in draw. Oops, not in capitals, not in capitals. Like so. And I'm going to do the same thing for object. Fingers crossed everybody, so we're going to reload it. So from there, we've got an error. So I need to debug, so I right click on the screen. Player object is not a function. Player object is not a function. I know why. So I should have put in there, it should have been called object.draw. So it's good to always check your code and debug. Okay, so from there, and there we go, it's on the screen. So what I might want to do is the square here, I might want to just control that with my mouse and just drag that around the screen. Okay, so what I'm going to do in the update function is player x equals mouse.x player.y equals. In fact, I could actually put that. Let's put that in the player update function. So I'm going to go down to the rectangular object here. In the update, I'm going to go this x equals mouse.x, and then we got this .y equals mouse.y. Okay, I'm not going to call it for the other objects, because otherwise both objects will be following my mouse around. Player.update. I'm doing this quick and loose, by the way. Okay, so let's try that. So as you can see, now my square is following the mouse around. Obviously, but the problem with that is the mouse X is going to the top of the rectangle. So what we need to do is offset that. I already want it in the middle. So what I'm going to do is, I think it's taken away. Take away this width, divide by 2. Let's see if that works. This could all go wrong. This could all go terribly wrong. Okay, so from there, really want to put height. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Chrome, refresh, and it's in the center. Look at that. It's pretty cool. One thing I need to do, so before we go to video number 2, when we do the collision detection part, I'm just going to set up also a true value. So it's just more of a test. So I'm going to put in here, up the top in my variables, I'm just going to call it, did it hit? Did it hit? Did it hit? Okay, so I'm just going to put that as false. So now what I'm going to do is, before we move on to tutorial 2, just in where we've got our drawing the mouse coordinates on the screen, I'm just going to put in here, did it hit? I'm going to pass that variable in our temporal literal, did it hit? Okay, so let's just bring that down by 610. Right, So hopefully that's going to say false down the bottom there. Did it here? No. Great. Okay, so that is going to be the end of tutorial number 1, talking about collision detection between 2 rectangles. Okay, so on the next tutorial, we're actually going to start doing the game logic, but on the collision detection. So first of all, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Please buy me a coffee. Hope you got something out of that tutorial. If you learned something new, I hope you have an awesome day, and I'm going to catch you on the next video.